the Tuesday's tips. Today I've got a cracking little painting for you all. I'm just going to show you and teach you how to do glassy reflections where the water's very still. It's just like a mirror image basically. That's going to be today's demonstration. So I'm just going to run the colours across the screen for you all so that you can paint along with me. And let's have some fun and get stuck in with this painting. First things first, I've got some acrylics. So this is all dry, painted with this with gesso, and then over the top I've just got some sap green, cadmium yellow and some black, and it's acrylics again. So I'm just going to use that down on the table because it's only a paper plate that I'm using, and I want to actually tap a bit of the sap green and the black, just a tiny bit of black there, into the sap green. There you go, you can see that, just into there, some of that dark sap green. Now I know that I'm going to want a tree up in here which has got some white flowers on it, so I'm putting the actual green for the leaves in first. Just add a slight amount of cadmium yellow to that. See that again? I'm just using that cadmium yellow into that dark colour. This is my acrylic brush. Save one brush for acrylics, and this is the one. Now the light's coming down at an angle slightly from right to left, so there'll be more of a highlight on the right hand side of these trees than there will on the left, but there'll still be a good highlight on the left as well. I just want to put a bit of green in before I put the white on, because the green then will look like it's underneath the beautiful white flowers that I'm going to paint. These are like hawthorn trees which have this beautiful effect with the white flowers. I just want to put a few bits of highlight in there. With acrylics as well, when you're painting over the gessos, it always wants to dull off. So that's a good thing because it means the leaves will be underneath in the shadows basically. Something about like that. I want a few little areas just down there. Now with this same colour that I've got, I'm going to have a big white brush over here as well, all the way, so I can get a few bits of green just up in there, just in the top areas. We'll let this dry, and then we'll go back over it again with oils like we did in the last Tuesday's tips. So we're going to get to use some of the same techniques basically, and I want you to get used to using these techniques so that you can master them and control them. That's it. So just don't kill all the darks, just highlight here and there some nice layers of green. Primarily more highlight on the right and less on the left. Just bring it down to about there, I should think. Maybe that's going to be one tree, and then maybe we've got another just coming off the side here. So you can create them layers just by leaving the dark. And this is only going to be an indication because we're going to have some brighter stuff over the top. That's cool. For those of you who like to do acrylics, you could do this whole painting with acrylics, but I find that you get better glossy reflections with oil paints. So that's why I'm doing acrylics first like this, where I need to, and then I can do the glassy reflections and everything with the oils. I'll also be painting a lot of leaves with oils as well, especially like the white and stuff, because they're much more vibrant, and I'm going to mix them also with alkyd gel medium. And this alkyd medium is really good. It dries the paints up a bit faster, but when you first mix it with the paint, it actually makes the paint thinner, so it sticks really easy over the top of the other paint, and that's what we want. Again, just getting that green, and where I think I'm going to have some little flowers on the trees or something like that, we can just put some of that green in. You can sometimes just come above, just above the dark, you know, and just, that'll look like some leaves in the light here. Maybe a nice layer tree stood there on its own. Sweet. I'm going to have some nice colours because I'm making this a really summery type painting, because I love these little lakes and stuff when it's sunny and you get these wonderful reflections. It's really a lot of fun to paint. I like seeing things in nature and then recreating it on the canvas. That's what really turns me on. we go. Again, I can get a tiny bit more of the yellow. I think maybe you're just going to have a bush. See that? Just there. Again, I can still go over that with some oils if I choose, but let's see. I just want to be able to reflect that, you see, in the water. I think that'll be a nice reflection for the water. Like I say though, these acrylics will dull down slightly, so they won't be quite as bright as I've got them at the moment. Once they're dry, they tend to dull down to acrylics. That's the bonus of oil, you see. Oils stay the same pretty much all the time. And again, doing this, it's also by having the tape on there, it's going to give us a good idea where we're going to have as waterline. Leave them dark shadows behind. Brighter in there, shadows behind. So I'm just always thinking about that. Maybe just in there to make it a tiny bit brighter on the edge. Right. Cool. And make them all different sizes as well. A bit more with the black. So you can just come up in there and just indicate anything. This is just for the shadows. A lot's going to be painted over all that anyway, so I don't want to stress too much. I'm just going to use a little bit just in there. A little bush. It's just going to sit there on its own. That's cool. Maybe over here, a bigger bush. See that top? Sometimes that's why I like this brush with acrylics, because it gives you these lovely little pointy tops. It's a really nice effect. Make that a bit more of a longer bush. Tap it behind so it's dark. Go back into your brights, and then up in there, you just make it a tiny bit brighter on the right hand side. Sweet. Great stuff. Now, well, pretty good idea just from that, you see. I could even, if I wanted, paint a smidgen of grass just along the water's edge, just there, just by tapping with the acrylic, just like that, and then I can keep the trees above that. That's just on the bank. Maybe a little bit of it just showing through there behind that bush. And then we'll have it disappearing off, and then over in here, I can have it as though this bush is in front of all this, and I can have that sort of like just coming up there into the shadows. It must be a bit darker, does this? So I'm just tapping a bit more gentle. Reload. And where that's coming up, I'm just imagining it's going to come up about something about there. Forget about that bush, it doesn't matter. I just decided that I'm just going to have some grass up there. I can put that bush back in front of this grass with the oils, that's not a problem. Trying to get something in there. A few little bushes here and there, so just tap a bit harder for them. And that'll give you a nice water line as well, you see. Sweet. Now when I take that off, straight away we're going to have an element of a water line. So we have an idea where this water line is going to be, but we can also create some depth into that as well. And now I just want to actually just start to reflect some of that. See, like from that there into the water, just a little indication of it. Just while I've got that same colour on my brush, that is. Don't kill that waterline that you've got. They're usually a bit darker at the reflections than the actual land above it. I'm trying to get a bit more yellow, and the acrylics I'm using are a System 3 original. This is a lemon yellow that I'm using, along with the sap green, which again is System 3. And then I can just use some of that yellow, tap into that, make it a bit more green. And then where these bushes are that I've got just in there, I can reflect them down in the water a bit as well. Just there. Cool. The little ones that are just in there as well, you can do that. It's a bigger bush there, so harder where it's going to be brighter and more gentle into the shadows. There. See? It's all about keeping that light and dark going. See, that's a bit brighter, is that bush? Just up in that side. And then darker behind. So if you notice, that's actually a bit too bright, is that at the moment? Sometimes just tapping it can help. Or you can just get a tiny bit of the black with that same brush, and you can just go back into that there and make it darker. Even the straight black sometimes, black and blue, black and sap green this is. See that, just to put some darks back in, and then when you come back and highlight again over this beautiful edge, it'll be brighter on the right hand side, much brighter. A bit more straight yellow, mix that into it. The thing with acrylics, like I said, they do dull down a lot, and then in the water that same brighter colour just in there. There, that's it. I love doing these, it's so much fun. Yeah, absolutely great. Right, this is quite a dark green now for this grassy area. I just want to actually mimic some of that going on in there. That grassy area, it gets thinner as it goes down, doesn't it? So, no, I want it to be quite dark, so I'm not killing all them lovely darks. I'm just creating a little tiny reflection for this strip of grass that we've got going on in there. Just gentle, but keep it darker than what's above, just slightly darker, that is. Sweet. And then same down in there. That's it. The harder you tap, the more light you're going to get out of the brush. So we just turn the brush around a bit then. There, sweet. And it's same in there. Just a little reflection. Cool. I'm going to get a bit more of the brighter yellow. And just put it on that edge. Hope you can see that because I know it's close to the edge of the camera. Right, and then again that same dark green colour with a tiny bit of yellow, and I want to reflect just slightly some of them. So I'm turning the brush upside down basically now, so I can get some of them indications going on of these branches go there up there. I just want a few little highlights. Do the darker ones first. Few darker ones, and then you can go in and get some brighter ones in there. There we go. Just for them, this edge where it's tiny smidgen brighter. Just in there. And recreate down in the water pretty much what you've got up above. So there's that hangy down one there that I just did then. Sweet, and then you can come along and put a few just in there. Excellent, you're going to hear me laughing and smiling a lot while I'm doing this because I really enjoy doing these with the reflections. Now I want a straight dark one now for this. So if you work it out, it's coming from there. And it's coming up. Now I hope you've all noticed that we've actually put on the DVD Otley Chevin. It was the first DVD that I'd ever done basically, and we never put it out for sale. It's a really good one actually as well, it's a lot of fun. You hear a few tractors and a few things going on, but I've put it up for sale anyway, and it's now out for download basically, so you can download it. And the way that we're doing that is, all you have to do basically, if you want to watch that DVD, you just put £3 in your PayPal account and send it to michaelmunson@yahoo.com. That's my email, and once you've sent that through with your username, you need to send it through with your username, then I will release the videos for you to be able to download them. Now you'll notice a few of my videos have actually been privated for that same reason, so that I can keep doing this basically, Tuesday tips and stuff like that. It helps a lot. Thanks for your support guys. and gals, very much appreciated. It's a nice little DVD though, a lot of fun to do. My mate Stubbs was there and Stuart were filming it. Stubbs helped us carry all the stuff up. I'm telling you, it was a windy day where easel were blowing around all over the place, but the painting turned out decent in the end. I was surprised actually. There were tough conditions. A lot of people stood behind us watching us while we were filming. We had it all to contend with. I wouldn't have changed it for the world. It was a lot of fun. And I'm hoping to be able to do a lot more outside for you all. And I really enjoy painting in nature, from reality, you know, there and then while you're there. There's not what beats it really, because you can capture the mood as it is at that particular moment. See, you've got that reflected down into there now. Step back and just take it in. Now this one as well, just doing the same thing, putting a nice glossy reflection in for it. This one here, and then leave it dark behind, reload again, and then we've got this other layer of brush. So, talking about there. So that'll just tighten the shadows basically then. And it wants to be brighter on that edge into the shadow. Now, I might even exaggerate that a little bit more so that you get a better feel. So if I brighten this edge up slightly and bring it, say, out to about there, something like that, and then get that same colour and just up in where this area is, and use that brighter colour just in there to mimic what's in the water basically, like a chameleon. And then we've got this little yellow brush I put in before, remember this one just up here. I'm just going to put some bright yellow on it just for now, and then I'm going to reflect it into the water. These mirror reflections are more or less identical above than they are below. The only difference is that darkness is a tiny bit darker, so you can just touch that a bit and it'll just allow it to mix with the dark that's underneath slightly, you see, and it just gives you that effect then that you're after. Again, I just want to put another little highlight going on there on that right hand side just to exaggerate it. And then same with water. Turn the brush around for that. You just put the same in the water. A little bit there that's just going on. And then on that edge. And you'll know when you step back whether your reflections are right or not. Because if they're not right, it'll just bug you to high hell. Now, I need more contrast on this because you can see how we've kept that line going there and it's really working well. Well, we've actually lost it a little bit there, so I think by using this brighter colour, it'll just help it to stand out more. There. Stop breathing. I've stopped breathing near there. Again, it's up into there. And I always turn the brush over and try and mimic it upside down if you like. I'm painting this upside down, and then to make it brighter you just apply a tiny bit more colour and a bit more pressure when you actually tap. And then when you come into your shadow spots in there, say, it's gentle, very quiet and gentle. See that? And that's going to make them reflections stay in there, but you can also get a little fan brush at this stage and get some of that black. And I just want to define this edge a tiny bit more. I've lost a bit of the dark, so just by coming in with this fan brush just along the water's edge in there, you can actually redefine where that water's edge is and then tap a bit of that colour into the shadows there. See that? So I'm just using the acrylics here basically to give me a waterline. Simple, really. Really simple. Tap right down with that if you like. But don't kill all them reflections that you just put in. It'll just give you that extra effect that you want in. All that. Maybe pull that and bring it over there slightly. Allow it to just go into them reflections. Yeah, but they should still remain there, you see. Now once that's dried, that'll look smart. I'm happy so far.